One, two, testing. Well, today is Memorial Day in the United States of America, where they remember the people who fought for the creation of the United States of America and the defense of the United States of America. And we're going to approach it differently, like everyone else does, because everyone else approach it as what they see the United States of America to be, or what they want the United States of America to become. Like the English, they want the United States of America back into their possessions. They want to make the United States of America another province of Canada. So now Mr. Trump decided that he's going to say the opposite, that he wants Canada back into the United States of America. And that is what we're fighting for. We're fighting for you, for the originals of the United States of America. So who created the United States of America? In basically the easiest way to understand this is the United States of America was created by the French, Louis XVI, and the Kingdom of Spain, Carlos III. Point. That's it. Without them, the United States of America would not exist. And today they have the fleet, the United States of America warships surrounding Venezuela, and people are talking about that they might invade Venezuela, or they want to capture Maduro in Venezuela, like they did in Panama. But I don't think it's going to work out too well, and I'm going to tell you why. Because right next door to Venezuela is Guyana. Guyana used to be part of the United Kingdom, the English Empire. And right beside Guyana is the French Guyana. And that is not going to work out too well when you have the French and the United States of America bumping heads on the border. Remember, the French are Americans too. Americans as Canadians and Americans as Guyanas, as Americans of many other possessions in the American continent. Yes, the French are Americans too. The moment the United States of America start trying to retrieve those territories from them, hell is going to break loose. World War III is not going to start in Russia or with China. World War III is going to begin when the Iberian people decided enough is enough with people like Trump. We created the United States of America, and you English are going back to England. And it's going to be free for all because remember, they are all families. All of them are families. So what they have in mind, I have no idea. I have no clue. I am no part of the oligarchy. But I can say this. The Princess of Asturias, she is in training right now to drive a warplane. The King of Spaniards, King Felipe, he is family of the King of England. They are family. The King of the Netherlands. All these oligarchy, they created the European nations, what today we call Europe, or the European Union. All of them are family. And we, the United States of America, have told that family that in reality created us that we are going to take them over. So that is where the problem will, I think, will start. Is when they start trying to take over Venezuela, to take over Colombia, like they did in Mexico. Remember what happened in Mexico in the 1840s is completely different. It's completely different world than what is happening today. Remember, remember the Monroe Doctrine. I guess I can say it that way. The Monroe Doctrine, Doctrina, Monroe Doctrina, the big stick. Basically, Monroe say the American continent is for the Americans, but remember the Americans for them is white Amerixes, is people from Europe. They come here, learn how to speak English, and they transfer their identity into something else. And that is the America that we're talking about. But the America of today is completely different because the kingdom of Spain is no longer weak, is no longer in existence in the America, in the American continent. Now we have sovereign countries, many of them in the American continent. Countries like the Brazilians, yeah, the Brazilians. Remember, at one point the Brazilians have more world power or military power than the United States of America. In 1903, at the beginning of the 20th century or the year 1900, the ending of the war with the in between the United States of America and the Kingdom of Spain, the Brazilians were stronger than the United States of America. That is why they start creating ships like the battleship Texas that I visit many times, and you can go actually and see it in Galveston Bay. So talking about that, that is what we remember. What we must remember is that what is happening now is the negation of what happened back in in the 1780s, because in the reality the United States of America was actually created in the 1770s and 80s all the way to 81 when the Battle of Yorktown happened. And that is what we must remember. So we will not be fighting on the wrong side, because who created the United States of America was not those that we are trying to take over now. Let me see how can I rephrase that, because it's very complicated for me to transfer it. Who created the United States of America? The French and the Spanish. We see them today as our enemies, and we cannot forget that we exist because of them, that we have become their enemies. That means that we have become English, that we have lost our identity, our correct identity. And that will make the United States of America completely cease to exist in a matter of minutes, if you will, like it is happening right now. The federal government, the government that have become English, and try to implant the English language in the American continent, and is trying to make everything English. And if you are not English or English-like, you need to get the hell out of town. That federal government is placing soldiers that were created by the French and the Spanish, and they fought together to create the United States of America. They are fighting against what they created. So analyze what I am talking about. And unless we don't remember that base, we will follow blindly like little lambs and fight one another. And it's going to be a replica of what happened in the 1860s. In 1860s, the people who created, for example, the state of Texas, the Semejanzo family and all these families, they were not English, but they were conditioned to be English. And the reality is they were accepted and protected from the English from the United States of America. They already have been conquered again by the English, not with guns, but with identity. So, so the people who were in Texas fighting the original Texas, fighting the one who created the United States of America were erroneously conditioned. It should have been the opposite way. It should have been where we expand and remove the English idea of genocide, the English idea of if you are a color, you are not one of mine. If you are an Indian, I can exterminate you and put you in concentration camp. Not only that, if you are a slavista or people who slave others, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. You'll be fine. Remember that the people in Texas, one of the problem was that they wanted to bring slaves in. And already the people who created the United States of America have repudiated slavism, the Kingdom of Spain and the French. And that is the reason that we fought in 1860s, is because we forgot who we really are and who we need to fight for, and repudiate and resist what they are trying to tell us that we are erroneously, to remove, so we can forget who we really are. One example of this is you get a Mexican, they actually have a Iberian name like Rodriguez. So you bring Rodriguez inside the United States of America and you tell Rodriguez, you are no longer what you are. You are no longer an Ibero-Visigotic from Europe, married to, I don't know, an Azteca and have Azteca babies and European babies. Well, we should be Ibero-Americans. Same biology, just different languages. That's it. And now you have become something different. You need to forget who your father was and who your mother was. So we're going to assign you a new identity. You are going to be a Latino. And we're going to show you shows like Latino USA. So you can use these shows or this environment so you can reinforce your erroneous identity that you just have accepted. And that is what is happening in the United States of America. And that is why I make this video. So let's remember who you really are and who created you. So let me start with Bernardo Conde de Galvez. Bernardo Conde de Galvez. So the first thing that I can do is is show you. The first thing that I can do is show you what they want you to believe and the reality. So let's pick up here. Let me see if I can open this bigger. So let me show you what they want you to believe and the reality of the situation, what really is. For example, let's read Bernardo de Galvez. The very first thing that they do is remove Bernardo Conde. Conde is a count, the head of the county, a count. So they want to remove the title, remove the title. So off the back, he is no longer a count. Now he is de Galvez, from de Galvez. De means from. So it's Bernardo from Galvez. So let's continue to read up here. This is a Spanish name of the first paternal surname. Is Galvez, and is the second of the maternal family name in Madrid. So basically saying that this is the name of his father. His name is his father. Or his the father's first last name. That is how they do it in the Kingdom of Spain and every Iberian country. They give you the father's last name first, then the mother last name first or second, and then the family member or the titles, including where you're from. Bernardo Vicente de Galvez y Madrid. First count of Galvez. So now they're putting that, the correct name, very small on the bottom. And they tell you when he was born, on the 23rd of July in 1746, and died on the 30th of November of 86. And that is very important because he died only 5 years after what he created. He created the United States of America, one of the most amazing countries ever created on the planet of the Earth, the planet Earth. So now let's continue to read. Let me see, I don't remember. Was an Spanish military leader and a government official who served as a colonial governor of Spanish Louisiana and Cuba. Later as Viceroy of New Spain. Okay, that is completely erroneous. I mean, literally completely erroneous. I'm going to show you why. Okay, let me show you why it is erroneous. He was a Spanish military leader. Well, you would think, well, yeah, he was a leader, but he was not a leader. He was el Capitán General de Cuba. He was in command. He had a title. He was a oligarch. He was not a leader. He was a oligarch. And a government official. A government official. Well, he was not a government official. He was the government. I mean, he was not official on the government. Whatever he say, he goes because he was the viceroyal of Nueva España. That means that he was at the same level as the king. Only the king was above him. For example, today Felipe VI is the king. So only if he today was the viceroyal of Nueva España, today the oligarchy level was Felipe VI, number one, and Bernardo Conde de Galvez, number two. So he was not an official. He was a viceroyal, a king. That is what he was. He was not an official at all. And let's keep reading. And they call it the Spanish Louisiana. That he was the viceroyal or Capitán General of Spanish Louisiana. Spanish Louisiana. Like if Louisiana was something else before and after. Well, there is no such a thing as Spanish Louisiana because they have never called Louisiana Spanish Louisiana. What today is Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Arkansas, all the way into Canada, almost into Alaska, including some Canadian territories today, was called La Capitanía General de Cuba. So Spanish Louisiana never existed, but now Wikipedia is trying for you to forget. And that is what we're talking about here. Wikipedia is trying for you to forget the Spanish Louisiana does not exist, only exist in the mind of those English people. They are transmitting to the Polacos, they arrive here, or people from, let's say, Judea, or one of my favorites, Giulio Giuliani, they got run over by a car, that he said that he is an Italian. Only in the mind of these people, they are trying to forget and create something else exist. So Spanish, Louisiana never existed. It always have been La Capitanía General de Cuba. And that includes when Napoleon in the early 1800s took over the territory and later sold it to the United States of America. It continued to be La Capitanía General de Cuba. And that is important for you to know because today the Cubans that you call illegal aliens, the Cubans, Rodriguez from Mexico, that you call illegal alien and tomato pickers, and the Cubans like Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Salazar, Rodriguez, Gonzalez, Tobar, Nunez, Jimenez, all these personalities are they actually created the United States of America. And you Polacos look at them as they are the foreigners. So that is what we must remember today in this Memorial Day in the United States of America. But not only in the United States of America, we must remember the Bernardo Conde de Galvez, And the people who created this nation created something to stabilize the world, to make the world a better world, to make it stable, so they in Europe know how to kill one another. And that has been lost in the past 6 months, or maybe since Reagan, if you really start paying attention, when the Monroe Doctrine no longer apply, because Reagan have forgotten that we are no English. And when the Argentines were fighting the English, he supported the English. So that stable world no longer exists. Since that time, since Reagan, a Democrat that became a Republican and now is selling you crap in your mind so you can forget that these people from La Capitanía General de Cuba are the true protectors of the United States of America. So when you little eyes Nazi members and you United States of America military members, and you that works on institutions like the FBI, the CIA, and all these institutions created by the United States of America, Homeland Security, the moment that you attack the name Rodriguez, the name Bernardo Conde de Galvez, the name Esteban Rodriguez Miro, the name of Marco Rubios, the name of Ted Cruz, or Salazar, or Jimenez, or Gonzalez, or Tobar, or La Savoy, or La Boy, the moment that you start attacking Fries, you are destroying who actually is protecting you from your own self, because you have forgotten and now you are fighting you on. And that is very erroneous. And that is what we must remember today and every other Memorial Day. That you are not English, that you are not a political party of any kind, that you are something that the French, the Kingdom of France, the people of France, and the people of Spain, and the people who fought a stabilization war in Europe are the correct so you must remember that these people are not your enemies, but the people who created you. So go and remember that Felipe the 16 is not your enemy. That the people of the American continent in every other jurisdiction are not your enemies. The enemies are the Polacos and the people who come inside the United States of America and forgot who is Bernardo Conde de Galvez, who is Carlos III, who is Louis XVI, Marqués de Lafayette, who is Federico von Steuben, and my favorite of all, Gian Battista. So go ahead and remember, stop drinking your beer and smoking your cigarettes, smoking your marijuana, spending millions and billions in drugs, and go and remember, you don't need drugs to forget. You need hard work to remember. Saludos.